Hello and welcome to Mtoto News Insight. My name is Kitale. Do you know that children under the age of 5 and pregnant mothers are at the highest risk of getting malaria? Sleeping under a treated mosquito net and now through a vaccine can reduce the chances of getting malaria. On to our first story. The Ministry of Health launched the malaria vaccine on 13 September, making Kenya the third country after Ghana and Malawi to immunize children.
It was all celebration in Mtoto County when CS Ministry of Health, CDC Kariuki, launched the malaria vaccine aimed to curb deaths for children who are most prone to this disease from a young age.
Malaria continues to be one of the top 10 causes of death in our country. It continues to be a leading killer of children below the ages of 5.
This milestone in the ministry puts Kenya in the third place among African countries after Ghana and Malawi to provide the routine vaccine in 3 doses: 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, and the last at 2 years.
Those with the children that age and are present here to become the champions of this vaccine, so that you speak to your colleagues to be able to bring the children to the health facility.
This immunization will be at free cost in all the public facilities. Homa Bay, Siaya, Busia, Kakamega, Bungoma, Vihiga, Migori, and Kisumu hospitals are among the first counties to receive these vaccines immediately. Over 61% children below the age of 5 die from malaria. That is 1 child every 30 seconds.
The government has reversed an order to close 15 schools in Mau Forest in order to allow candidates sit for their national exams. Trans-Nzoia with the report.
The government has extended the deadline for the closing of 15 schools within Masai Mau Forest by 60 days, adding that there will be no forcible evictions. The government at some stage ordered the closure of the schools, but Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembeya reversed the directive to close the school, saying the decision was made in order to allow candidates sit for their national exams without any interruptions.
We are going to deploy more officers in those areas so that whoever is bent on inciting communities against each other will be dealt with very firmly, because we've had a situation where when we start doing some progressive work in some part of the part of the county, you find the people inciting communities in a different area, so that we start focusing on ethnic skirmishes instead of doing productive work.
The 15 schools located in the section of the Masai Mau Forest targeted for evictions were denied registration by the Ministry of Education due to failure to show proof of land ownership and employment of qualified teachers.
All these are just centers that are not registered. They're on forest land, they are not registered, they've got no TSC teacher, they don't benefit from free primary education. Yeah, that basically centers where young girls and boys go there to waste their life, because somebody wants to prove a point that we have schools here.
In June this year, the National Examination Council released the timetable for this year's national exams. Students sitting for their Kenya Certificate of Primary Education will begin their exams on the 28th of October with mathematics paper and finish their last paper with social studies and religious education on the 31st of October. Form 4 students will begin their KCSE on the 4th of November and will finish their last paper on the 27th of November. From Mtoto News, I am Dennis Njoroge.
Villagers in Kitale town want the authority to take immediate action after 2 children were found dead in their house. Constance Ndeleko has more.
Following the death of 2 children aged 2.5 years and 9 months whose bodies were found in their house, police have launched investigations on the cause of their death in Kipsongo village, Kitale. The mother of the 2 who works in a hotel says she left the children safe during the night sleeping, but noticed something was not right when she wanted to breastfeed the 9-month-old baby after returning in the morning. The villagers have condemned the heinous act and want investigations completed as soon as possible to unveil the cause of their death.
It's a rare case when you can find infants dying the same time. This is a unique case and it must be investigated.
The area chief urged the residents to be calm as the investigations were ongoing.
Nimeongea na mama yake, amesema ameamka asubuhi akapata watoto wake wamekufa. Kifo ya watoto haijajulikana. Tumengoja Kenya Police wakuje wachukue watoto waende wafanye postmortem ndio tutajua kifo cha watoto.
On international news, Fridays for Future is the tagline that students all over the world are using to protest over climate change. This is to encourage all the leaders to be accountable and take action to make sure this better world for future generations. And Wamboy with the story.
Sea levels are rising, and so are we. Sea levels are rising, and so are we.
Greta Thunberg led other young climate activists in a protest against climate change outside the White House in Washington, D.C. on Friday, September 13th. On Fridays, students have for months now downtooled their studies and marched outside the streets with the aim of getting politicians' attention for drastic action towards the rising change in climate patterns affecting citizens all over the world. The 16-year-old started this campaign in August 2018 outside Sweden Parliament buildings, and now it is an international movement with the support of other students who forfeit Friday classes to protest in the now dubbed Fridays for Future campaign.
My name is Jerome Foster II. I'm at White House. I've been striking at the White House for about 14 weeks now, and today I want to call to action and say that young people around the world are not striking for pity. They're not striking for forgiveness. They're not striking for any other reason. We're striking to demand action because we don't want change, but we need change. We need global change.
The Swedish teenager, who traveled to New York from Plymouth, London, on a zero-carbon emission yacht for 2 weeks, will be attending the Climate Week New York City Summit, organized by the United Nations, that begins on September 23rd and ends on 29th.
That brings us to the end. Do join us next week for more news. You can visit our website www.mtotonews.com and follow us on social media at Mtoto News. Goodbye.